up down, that's like PD hoes rise, and they rise again. From the front line to leading mates and friends. Oh, this is your season, time to take a stand. Hey, hero makers, legends spreading across the land. Yeah, it's your roof from Tassie, bouncing like a kid at a bunning sausage sizzle on a Saturday morn. Season 3's lit, laptop lifestyle, dad show, hero makers. Season is born from AI funnels to social selling grit. Now it's hero making time. Strap in, this is it, yo. I've hopped Tokyo's back streets, cop the LA glow, bringing yarns from the road, mate. Watch the wisdom flow from the kitchen bench, hustle to the big global stage. We're handing you the keys, now it's time to turn the page. A few heroes rise, and they rise again. From the front line to leading mates and friends. Oh, this is your season, time to take a stand. Hero makers, veterans spreading across the land. I'm the pumped up platypus from Sunny QA, more bounce than a kid who spotted the ice cream van. You see, two Wizzy dads, mate, bringing boom source seed, helping legends step up, take the driver's seat. We're not just here to yab a raw, spin ya a line. We're handing you the mic so your voice can shine. From Tassie to Tokyo, Goldie to Perth, hero makers worldwide, lifting leaders of worth. Jeff Rue's got the coffee double shot, mate, I'm wide. They platypus at the pool party, still floating our tide. Jeff from barbecues to boardrooms, we bring the yarns and the tools, helping legends lead strong and break all the rules. See heroes rise, then they rise again. From the front line to leading mates and friends. And this is your season, time to take a stand. Hero makers, legends spreading across the land. Grab your brew, your notepad, and your crew. It's the laptop lifestyle dad show. Hero maker season, bringing heroes out of you. Patty the Roo, platypus bringing the tricks. Hero makers podcast, your daily boom source fix. Then they rise again. Hey, from the front line to leading mates and friends. Oh, this is your season, time to take a stand. Hey, hero makers, legends spreading across the land. Heroes rise, then they rise again. From the front line to leading mates and friends. Oh, this is your season, time to take a stand. Hey, hero makers, legends spreading across the land.
Well, hello,
Hey.
Mr. David Miller. How are you, champion?
Good. Well, fantastic, Mr. Jeffrey Ross. And nice work on that switch there. Brilliant. How are you, buddy?
There we go. We're getting it all sorted. Hey, well, welcome to our audience. It's the Hero Makers Daily Live conversation here with Dave and Jeff from down here and down under the land of Australia. And welcome back. You know, we had a good weekend. Dave, we had a really great weekend, didn't we?
Fantastic weekend. It was awesome.
Yeah. What was the highlight for the weekend for you?
I got some work done. Got some work done. But I guess yesterday was probably the bigger highlight because I got to spend a bit of time with the little boy and,
Of course.
Sunday reflections and clear the brain and refresh a bit and get out and get some fresh air and, all those good things that are good for our health and our mindset. So,
always good to have that reset. It was actually Sarah's birthday today. She turns the biggest Sarah. But we took her out. The boys and I took her out to Hog's Breath Cafe for dinner last night, and we spoiled her.
Mm-hmm.
And she come home with like a couple of pina coladas under her belt, and she had a really good night.
Well, there you go. I'm not commenting any further on that one. Glad you had a good night.
Leave that, yep. Well, Dave, absolutely love doing life with you, mate. You're definitely a brother in brilliance in this space. So before we dive in, Dave, what's your take on the whole conversation? Like, why do you think so many people hit that invisible ceiling even when they're doing all the things right? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, straight to the point. It's this. Straight away, it's mindset. Mate. We basically, there's, it goes back, all the way through life. It's the conditioning that you've had, I guess, when you were younger or even when you're older and started working or, you started your business. It's the belief that you've got and I guess, how you've been programmed, how you've been wired. and that's all comes back to your surroundings, I suppose, really.
Yeah.
And
And so
you know,
our experiences and our surroundings can and the patterns they can create some conditioning in that space around our mindset. Yeah.
yeah, for sure they do, and and it takes sometimes a lot of effort and to fix some of these problems. Some of them are very simple, but I guess the biggest thing is you got to be open and understand, what's going on, and open and
Yeah.
to learning how to
Be
change
open and
that
understand.
mindset.
Open and understanding, and then the next part to step into that awareness around that conversation for sure.
Yeah,
And so, guys, if you haven't picked it up already, what we're putting down, we're talking about mindset, and what we're going to start unpacking is some of the 10 mental blocks that I've seen in my 17 years doing this that sabotage our success, and some of the things I've been learning as a student to help you to rewire yourself to be in that space. I'm not the expert here by any means. I'm just a student, just like you are, just like Dave is. But Dave and I have been blessed to be mentored and learning from legends like Dr. Joseph McClendon,
yeah,
Joshua Phelps, and in that space, Dave, we've been mentored by Joseph now probably for the last 18 months, especially on this mindset conversation. And what we launched on the weekend was called Mindset Pro. I love to unpack this, a bit with you. And, some of the things that I want to share with our audience today is some of the teaching that's helped both us overcome fear and that self-sabotage conversation. So Dave, you and I have talked about this heap, and we talk about it pretty
we
much
do.
on a daily basis, really. So
Yeah,
how much of leadership and success actually comes down to reprogramming what's between our ears?
100% of it, pretty much. Really, that's a simple one. See, let's move on. No, you know, I guess. Well, I had to. I've had to do it several times. I guess as you go in life, and as a person, or as in business, or as in your employment, or whatever it is. I mean, you're always going through these changes, and you have to be able and willing to accept. What I guess these professionals say in a lot of aspects, and you've got to have that put it into context to where you're at in your journey, and you know,
Yeah.
um, well, we'll take it for instance. I don't know, a few months ago or whenever it was, we started, talking about this, for instance. What we're doing here, and us joining arms more, and thankfully I'm blessed, and I got my brain right, and I made the right decision. But the thing was, I still had to do a lot of self-reflection. I had to be open to that, and had to, work out what I needed to do and get clarity in my brain, and reprogram and rewire to say, right, I put my stuff not completely on the back burner, but I've sort of calmed down a little bit
It
on
just
this
looks different.
to focus on this, and
Yeah.
this looks, yeah, that's right, looks different. But getting that sometimes to sit in your brain and then reflect to here can be a bit of a process, and unless you know how to do some of these tricks and tips and stuff like that to work on this and rewire it a bit, then it can become I guess a burden, and something that you're spending more time on
Well, it
than you
definitely
really.
can become a block. And
Hmm.
so that's what we want to focus on here today, guys, is teach you some of the things that we've learned as students in this space to go through. Probably, what we're going to go through here is our top 10 mindset blocks that hold people back, and give you some tools to reframe it to be able to help you to get past these. So I'm going to go quickly through them. Here's some one-liner truths, that focus on approval, addiction, perfection paralysis, scarcity mindset. Some of the things that we see come up in ourselves all the time and in others. And so, Dave, which one of these ones that we're going to go through here and unpack it? Um, I want you to sort of lean into it and tell me which ones really come up for you in that space. So, are you ready
Yep,
for me to rapid fire through some of these?
wouldn't have it any other way.
All right. So, I've just got to get my notes come back up here in a second. So, you ready? Let's go. Right. So,
Let's
the
go.
first one here is the approval addiction. Chasing validation instead of purpose. I personally have, Dave, I've had to learn this the hard way. And one of the things I know is you'll never please everyone. So serving instead of seeking approval is definitely the best way to reframe that. The second one that I want to unpack here, Dave, and so for me, for you now, Dave, is just to come into this and let's talk about the one that really jumps up for you. And for our audience, as I'm reading these out, let me know which one jumps up for you the best, and let's talk about that. So let's rapid fire through these. And so the first one is the approval addiction. The second one is the what will they think virus. Overthinking everyone else's opinion. The truth is people are too busy thinking about themselves to even think about you. The third one here
exactly.
I've had to learn in this space is the comparison trap. We talk about this, Dave, the curse of comparison. That social media especially is a highlight reel, and this highlight reel is actually nonsense. Let's focus on progress, not perfection. Let's stay in your lane, your pace, your race, and not worry about what other people are doing. This is something that I've had to overcome as well. Another one I've had to come up is against it time and time again, and it's a good reminder, is rejection equals the failure lie. Like this is a block that just holds everybody, I reckon. Rejection doesn't equal failure lie. It's a lie in itself, right? Every no is just feedback, and it's about refining a moment and not defining one. It's about leveraging that feedback to pivot and adjust. The fifth one that I think I find has been a block for me in the past, and I see for others as well, is the comfort zone illusion. Comfort is the enemy of calling. Growth doesn't happen in the hammock. It happens with you out actually taking action, right? The sixth one, no hammocks allowed, right? The sixth one is perfection paralysis. Dave, this is one that we've come up quite a fair bit against lately. And, waiting for the perfect time, making sure that the funnel's just perfect. It really is just what it is just saying is perfect time is just a fancy way to say, I want to procrastinate.
That's ironic, that one.
Yeah, right. And so 7 is another block here is identity confusion. Your results are not your identity. Your response to them is. So it's not how we, what happens to us. It's how we respond to them is what really our identity is found in. The other block I see here that stops people from the success is the scarcity script. Abundance is found. It's activated. It's done in the messy. It's done in the activation. And it's done through gratitude and generosity. And the other one here I find, so number 9, is the emotional echo. That's that old rejection pain that still haunts you and keeping you from new opportunities. Let's learn to reframe this as energy for growth. And the final one that really I find stops people as blocks them is the lone wolf syndrome. You can go fast alone, but you can go a lot further together. And I actually think if you do it together, you probably go faster and further together. Community is the cheat code to success. So, Dave,
100%.
every one of these blocks, they hit home, every now and then, right? So,
exactly.
What is wild? These aren't just business lessons. These lessons can be applied to parenting, leadership, marriage, and the whole kit and caboodle. So, Dave, which one of these stand out for you most right now, and why?
Well, they've all had an impact, and some of them still do, I suppose. But I don't know. There's probably 2 at the moment. Well, one of the biggest ones has been scarcity mindset, and I guess the one that's funny or ironic, and I had to laugh at the moment, is perfection paralysis because of what's sort of going on. That's a personal joke, probably, but anyway, it's but it is. It's so true. I guess the scarcity mindset is when all you're doing is trying to chase the dollar, and you flip that switch and change that to serving and providing value and those sort of things, and it just goes away straight away. And I guess that comes back to the perfection paralysis. That's a mouthful, but the thing is, you've got to start.
Perfect is the way to procrastinate, and it's stopping you from
exactly.
in that scarcity mindset. I can see those two working hand in hand, and they can feed off each other and keep to amplify.
Exactly.
And
exactly right.
without getting into detail, I've seen it happen 1,000 times with building websites for clients and funnels for clients and doing all of that. And some of the biggest things that I hit the frustration point, because I know myself that I've been here and I know success is on the other side, is in the messy middle sometimes, and getting out of it, getting out of our own way and just going live and then letting the data tell the story. But sometimes, helping people navigate that's very challenging, right? and
It is for sure.
it always is a block and a hurdle to help people get where they need to be. And one of my
Yeah.
mantras in this space is, if I become the block, then I need to take ownership, accountability, and responsibility, and figure out what needs to happen in that space to move from that block. But let's not be the block that stops people. Let's be the bridge that helps people get to the other side. And
100%.
so yeah, so like a lot of these things, it really comes down to leadership principle. You know, we've got to let other people. We're walking, talking skin bags full of human emotion, and an emotion gets in our body. And mindset is a powerful thing, right? So, like, if you're going through this conversation, guys, you're listening to our audience here, and one of those things really jump up for you, I want you to drop the word reframe in the chat for us, because
Yeah.
I know a mentor who is the best in the business to be able to help you go from this space, from rejection to redirection.
Yeah.
And his name is Dr. Joseph McClendon. That's what he's done for both Dave and
100%.
I in this space. And so, Dave, when you think about a time where rejection has hit hard, how did you reframe it, and what shifted for you in that conversation?
Ooh, that's a doozy. Um, ooh, rejection. Oh, yeah. I guess I've probably been. I've always had thick skin, so a lot of time rejection probably. Well, it does probably have an impact internally more so than externally. But I guess what I find that I really need to do, if I'm facing rejection, whether I guess it's rejection to an offer or anything along those lines, is look at it from a different perspective, and like look at I guess what I can do, because a lot of times we're looking through it in belief that we've got the best offer, we've got this, we've got that, and then all of a sudden you've got people saying, yeah, well, they've got objections to it and stuff like that. And I think you know you change that and have it as a redirection of the learning process, and have a think about what you can actually do better to reframe that into something that I guess taking that feedback and analyzing it, and then coming back to the start again, and actually giving the people what they want, as opposed to what you think that they need. I guess that would be one thing. And I guess the other thing was, I suppose, here we go, is a bit more of a personal one. When I was younger, getting probably rejected for my first car loan, and that probably hit hard, because I got sick of riding my push bike to work. And all it really was is, of course I had the shits and sulks about it for a little bit, but when I actually went away and thought about it, really all it was is I just needed a little bit more time. I hadn't been working long enough, so all I needed to do was keep at it, keep doing what I was doing, then go back in a couple of months' time and talk to the bank manager back then, as you did, and then everything was fine, and I got the car loan, and away I went, sort of thing. So I guess I could have kept sulking about it, and
I love that story. I love that story,
Yeah.
because what it does, it highlights here what you actually have done, and what Dr. Joseph McClendon has talked about for us for the last 8 months, and has been teaching us. And this is what he calls neuroencoding. What it really it's all about, if I break it down into layman's terms. So, I like to break things down so the 10-year-old in the room can understand it. Essentially, obviously, this conversation is identifying the blocks, and what the emotional meaning our brains are attaching to that, and then identifying, bringing awareness to them, and so your brain can stop treating growth like a danger. And
Exactly.
it's so that's the thing right there, right? Most of us go into fight or flight, or what is it? Fight, flight, or flight response, our anxiety response, because our brain is trying to keep us in safe mode. It's trying to keep us in that saber-toothed tiger is trying to chase you. What do? Do you fight? Do you flight? Or you fight? Type feeling. So you freeze. And in that space, right? So it's learning to rewire the brain in a way to stop treating growth like danger, and to start to analyze what it is for it is, and then grow from that space. So
Exactly.
this is what we're basically doing, what we call with Mindset Pro. This is the stuff that we're going to start looking at with Joseph and Joshua Phelps. I love what Joseph brings with the neuropsychology side of it all. And then Josh is going to bring in the spiritual side of it all. And this is where science and faith intersect. And so what we're going to start really unpacking with this Mindset Pro product. It's not hype. It's all about heart, and it's about meeting people where they're at. Dave, this product is designed to help parents. It's designed to help leaders. It's designed to help entrepreneurs, leaders of any facet of society, to lead with purpose instead of pressure, to lead with peace in that space. So, Dave, you've been working with me with Joseph now for the last 8 months and diving into these lessons and what he calls the 10 toxic triggers and the traits in that we have in that space. So, what's one shift that you can give credit to Joseph? One thing that you can take away from the course, the program that we've done so far that you've personally noticed since you've been diving into working with Joseph and Mindset Pro?
Well, I guess removing some of the blocks by, one of his favourite things to get you to do is to have a journal and, go back and write things down. And I guess, by going through that process, not getting a bit slack, I did actually go through it to start with.
Well, it's a good reminder to get back onto it.
Exactly right. But that helps, give you clarity and, I guess in a lot of ways, and enables you to move forward with certain things. I mean, sometimes, it could be as simple, well, it couldn't be simple, but it could have been something as catastrophic as a major trauma in your life even. And, being able to process that and leave it behind and move forward with, I guess, still recognizing it, but not having it be the crutch, I suppose, as you'd like to say, to stop you from moving forward. So that is one of the things. But, I guess the other one of the more brilliant things was the bit where he was talking about the Olympian and how he moved the goalpost on him without actually telling him, and through that extra hard work, I guess he got to where he needed to. So, yeah, exactly. So he adjusted his attitude, and at first, obviously, like the rest of us, whinging a little bit and whatnot, and then before he realised it. When they got to the last one and he moved the goalpost back and he achieved what he wanted to achieve, and he was, blown out about it when he found out how that came about. And it was great. It was just such a simple process, but very smart to think of it, and what a great outcome. So,
right.
And that's what I really love about it. It's simple.
And it's all about rewiring the brain. Rewiring the brain. It just goes to show in that story and example, our body can go do a lot more than what our brain says we can do sometimes in that space. And,
exactly. Yeah.
And it's not about tricking the brain; it's about rewiring the brain to be able to be of service to us. Not not us in the driver's seat, not it in the driver's seat. If you know what I mean. In that space. Right. So guys, we've had the privilege and the blessing of being mentored by Joseph now for the last 8 months. So has Sarah, and over the last few weeks, I've introduced Joseph to Josh Phelps. And that has now born this product called Mindset Pro. It was called something else before, but now we're bringing it to the Finance Pro community here. And people have the opportunity now to jump on to this level of world-class coaching for less than a cup of coffee a day. You think about it, right? There's a coffee store on just about every corner, especially in America, called $5. We'll call it $5. You go into the coffee store and the coffee's $5. It's $5, and if you're like me, when I was working in corporate, and actually still today, I probably drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day. So I'm probably spending at least $10 to $15 a day on coffee. Now, what does that coffee actually do for me long term? Nothing. It's like it's feeding an addiction, if you will. It's feeding a buzz. Now, if I transfer that money and put it into something that I know is about, helping me to empower this and reframe this to a more powerful tool to be able to be more empowered, more equipped to be able to get where I need to. For less than $5 a day, you can jump into our annual offer for Mindset Pro. It really is just a no-brainer when you look at it that. Everybody can put $5 together and put into something like this, especially into our middle class and upper class, Western society, right? Now, if you're struggling to do that, I totally get it. I've been there. My wife and I built our business off the back of a disability pension. So there is a way that you can pay like a monthly subscription and you can do it there and you can earn while you learn. We have a brilliant affiliate program tied to this. Now, you don't need to promote it. You can just become a student like Dave and I have been for the last 8 months. But if you do promote it, you do get something out of it, you do want to share it with your world around you, you can get paid for that incentive to refer to people. And right now, with our offer, as with our launch, if you promote this and people buy the yearly offer off of your promotion, you'll earn $150 commission per person for that sale. Now, if you did that 5 times, that's $750. You did that 10 times, that's $1,500. What would an extra $1,500, especially US dollars, do for you going into Christmas this year, Dave? How would that help you for making Christmas coming up?
It'd be awesome. It would just, make sure that everything. It would just give me peace, I guess, at the moment, because it would just ensure that everything is under control. As in, the wolves are at the, off the doorstep. That part of it sorted out, and that would then allow myself and my family to actually enjoy the time together. And it's not about the presents and that. It's about the spending that time together. I mean, unfortunately, this year, but yeah, the wife will be, probably working with a bit of luck, so to speak. But we'll be going to spend time with her for when she's not at work, and then, but just having us all there together and not having to worry about, I really shouldn't be doing this. I really should be paying this or doing that or doing something else.
So taking that monkey off your back a little bit so you can relax and less stress. Because I get what financial burden does to people and that pressure. And this is why we do what we do, right? It's to help people to create a personal brand, to create that life by design, so they can be affiliates of their own product or other people's products or whatever that looks like, to be able to create that laptop lifestyle full of freedom in all aspects of it. So if you're ready to work on your confidence, if you're ready to work on your clarity, if you're ready to work on your courage and start doing the work like Dave and I have been doing, comment yes me in the comments below here, and either one of us will message out and we'll send you the replay from our Super Saturday call, which is we renamed it now to It's Pro Time Saturday. We'll send you through the replay for that call. And we'll give you the link to help you to get started for Mindset Pro and take advantage of this amazing offer. Look, it's $500 for a year's worth of mentoring with Josh and Joseph McClendon. People pay at least tens of thousands, if not like around $40,000 a year to be mentored by Joseph. And we get to do it for less than $5 a day. I don't know about you, but that equals no-brainer conversation to me, Dave.
That's a no-brainer for me too. It was just it's just an easy decision to make. So I mean, probably inside advantage for me in the fact that I'd done some previous as you said training with him, so and been blessed in that able to go and attend those while that was happening. And the shift, I think the shift is going to be very important and beneficial too, because I love what Josh is going to bring to it, and is going to, as a lot of people think, this mindset stuff, it's all fluff and glory, and they run around on stages chanting and blah blah blah. But I know when you actually listen and talk to Joseph, that that's not the way he is when he's not in this situation. I'm sure he's done plenty of that on his stages and stuff like that, because that's the way it is.
Well, there is a space for that stuff too, right? The one thing I love about Joseph, especially in our mastermind classes that we've done, is he gives you tangible takeaways to action and actually get the results. This is a master craft. He's been doing this for 30 plus years, and he's worked with some top athletes and professionals and Olympians and rock stars around the world. And then we get to be able to say we can get mentored by him as well. I think that's pretty cool. And I would give you one word that has helped me for my own personal growth this year for alone, Dave, and that is true deep mentorship. Being mentored by people like Michael Silvers, Mary Glorifield, Joseph McClendon, and now add to that, Josh Feltz. It's pretty awesome the level of mentorship that we've been able to bring into our community, and I think that is one of the key success ingredients that helped us to level up this year, Dave.
Oh, 100%. It's just like we spoke about last week when it's only Monday today, Dave. So yes, last week. about hanging around the right people. Your 5 favorite people you're hanging around with, or most often hang around with, that allows you to raise your lid in leadership and in life. So to be able to even be close to getting anything out of these sort of people has just been incredible. And like you said, to be able to jump on meetings with Michael, Mary, Alana, yourself regularly, like every week, twice a week at least, has just been amazing. Yeah, that too. And it's an amazing experience. And then because of that, you get the association, obviously, well, for me, with Joseph and obviously Josh on the other side, but many other brilliant people in the world through the events and stuff that we do as well. And it's just been such an incredible year. Like just been so blessed, and just looking back to where I was this time last year and to where
we're only just getting started, Dave. It's like we've still got 2 months left of the year. We're just getting started, really. But reflecting back on this year, it's been a beautiful ride. Yeah, I would say this year has been a year of alignment. It's about getting this right. It's about getting this right so we can get this right. And Dave, we've gone through some probably what I call sanctification process in that space, and I really feel like the foundations and the pieces of the board, the puzzle pieces are all coming together. We're set up for a huge 2020-26, and guys, we're just getting started. And so if you would like to help get this right so you can get this right, so you can get this right and get into alignment, then I can't recommend a better product than Mindset Pro for you. I'd say it's been the key to success for us, Dave, and it's just such an honor and a blessing now to be able to share that with the world. I know Sarah has been a product of that as well, and seen her go through her stages of growth. I know Rena May, you have been a byproduct of that through our coaching in proximity, and I know if you plugged into Mindset Pro directly, your exponential growth it's not a guarantee, but I would say it's inevitable in that space for sure. And so
different rates, different pace for everybody, but everybody's going to get something out of it for sure. And so there's no not getting anything out of it.
No, and you'll get what you need for at the right time. That's the beautiful thing about this product. For wherever you are, wherever season you're in, you'll get what you need. And Joseph and Josh will meet you where you're at, and to be able to support you on that journey on your leadership growth track. So, legends, this is not about being perfect. It's far from it. But what it is about, it's about being present and about progressing. It's about moving forward. So, Dave, on that conversation, we said last week that we're going to dive into some AI, video training. So let's kick that off tomorrow. And we're going to host that inside the Hero Makers Facebook group community. So if you're not already in that group, you need to let us know so we can send you an invitation. But from tomorrow on, we're going to take these conversations. We'll do to a 10-minute public here and that sort of thing as an invitation for what we've got coming up, and come join us in the actual community. But Dave, this is where we get to get our geek on, and we get to get in our genius zone and have a lot of fun. And we're going to bring together a video for Sarah's podcast, Taboo Talk with Sarah, and rinse and repeat like what we did for the little kangaroo and the platypus video. So for legends, we'll like to see you there tomorrow in the Hero Makers Daily Live conversation will be actually happening in the Facebook group. And my conversation here for this one, Dave, is to go back through and reflect on what are the top 10 things one of the 10 out of the 10 that we talked about. What's your block? Let us know in the comments. And if you're ready to jump into Mindset Pro, put in a yes me, send me Mindset Pro link, and we'll send it through to you. And we'd love to journey with you on that. And Dave, mate, I just want to say from my heart to yours, thank you very much for everything that you do and support this conversation and the way that you show up. Man, you're a brother from another mother. Yeah, you're definitely cut from the same cloth, and I love doing life and business with you, mate.
Right back at you, brother. It's it wouldn't be possible if if he hadn't brought us together for whatever reason, and then told you to have the conversation. So as we discussed earlier, it's been an incredible meeting and then growth journey from there. So, and yes, your wife keeps pumping out the good sayings in the chat there.
Joseph,
He's,
Joseph has a little dance, and I'm not going to do it because I won't be able to do it justice. But I'll sing it out, like his little thinkers. As I think, so I feel. As I feel, so I do. As I do.
I have that dance.
I'll have to have Sarah do the dance for us because she's the dancer in the family.
There you go. There you go. We'll get earn the keep again. She'll be on overtime rate soon.
Well, legends, thank you very much. That's all we have for today. I just thought it was a really awesome conversation to talk about mindset blocks and see what we can do to be able. It needs a dance. Yes, it does. We'll see what we can do to be able to help you progress moving forward. But guys, we're just the students. You know, if you want to get access to our master practitioners that are helping to shape us, you need to be a part of the Mindset Pro conversation. So let's go. Look forward to seeing you in there, and can't wait to see you on our next call tomorrow. Dave, thanks for your time, and bye for now.
Hi, guys.